You know, there seems to be a conflict between people I would call objectivists and subjectivists. Okay, and I'm neither really. I understand where Ayn Rand and that whole objectivism stuff comes from, and I truly like the idea of enlightened self-interest. I don't believe that people always are calculating their self-interest. I think there's a lot of behavior that is instinctual. There's a certain level of altruism that people have that I think is ingrained, that they're not constantly calculating how people are going to react and what's in it for them all the time. I think actually people who are like that are more like sociopaths, people to watch out for. Okay, they'll turn on you if the conditions are right, and people just intrinsically don't trust people who they believe are always calculating what's in it for them. But I think as a evolutionary point, I think enlightened self-interest is a very good way to look at objectivism, because I think experience itself is subjective. I think our value judgments are all subjective. I think society, what constitutes good or bad, or that's all subjective. Now, there are some objective things we can agree on, and that is, so the physiological basis for what we believe to be good or bad, and that's enlightened self-interest and the survival of our genes, not the survival of ourselves so much, because evolutionary-wise, we're not geared to protect ourselves so much as we are geared to protect our offspring. So it's pretty ingrained into our physiology. So I'm not one who believes that we can go against nature. I think going against human nature is intrinsically a mistake. Now, human nature is malleable enough such that given what it is, we can come up with some rules and make it workable. So we've got some leeway and some flexibility as far as that's concerned, but we're not going to change human behavior. And to me, that's the objective part. That's the objective part. But the value judgments, I think, are subjective, and I think it's important for objectivists to realize that that they're basing a lot of their stuff on a theoretical existence proof. That is, theoretically, maybe there's an existence proof for reality, but their knowledge of it is all filtered through their subjective experience, okay? And as such, you have to be ready to admit when you've got something wrong, all right? Because your perceptions are always coloring things in different ways, and it's notoriously unreliable. I mean, even the scientific method, the methods we have for determining scientific truth, the most firm and concrete truth there is there's still lots of room for controversy because people perceive things in certain ways. They argue over the terminology and all kinds of different things, and the whole process itself has got to have some margin for error, all right? So it's very, very subjective. And although I agree that there has to be some basis for being able to discuss objective reality and to come to consensus on things, the whole rational dialogue coming to consensus over objective reality, I think that process is very important. It's what we do a lot in science. But I don't think anyone is going to roll over and say, oh yes, objective reality, you are right, and by claiming the existence of objective reality, claiming to have privileged knowledge of it. No one's got privileged knowledge of objective reality. We all get reality filtered through our subjective experience. Right, so that's it. Thanks for watching.